So it's very possible that Rox-Blackbeard is like still alive because his freaking soul might be inside of Blackbeard. Yep, another big crazy theory about not only Blackbeard but also Rox. I mean, since Rox has been fully introduced into the story in these last couple chapters, it's made everything so much more interesting. And this whole big speculation and theories about Blackbeard have been extrapolated now. Because for years, we've been talking about Blackbeard, talking about what makes him special, why is he the way that he is, why do the characters speak about him the way that they do, and then why does he have 2 devil fruits? Well, it might be because of Rox. So, one of the oldest Blackbeard theories was him having multiple personalities or multiple souls. And at that time, we didn't really know what to make of that. I mean, I guess it was kind of plausible because of the way that he acts and his sporadic personality changes. Like we said, his ability to have multiple devil fruits, his teeth changing. Sometimes he has more teeth than others. The 3 skulls as his logo, etc., etc. But it was a little far-fetched. Because like I said, we didn't know what to make of that stuff at that point. There was no like soul lore really established other than what Brook was doing with his devil fruit and the things that he has said. But now it seems like soul manipulation and soul transfers and just souls and stuff is a very real thing in One Piece that I guess Oda wants us to know about because it's more relevant later on in the story. I mean, I guess it's kind of relevant right now, but I think we're going to find out at some point that a bunch of characters from the past did some crazy soul stuff. But anyway, Vegapunk talking about soul. In Kuma's flashback, he said, "That's right. A scientist out in West Blue once postulated that a person loses 21 grams of mass upon death, and that could be considered the weight of their soul. If nothing else, such a link would prove that the soul does in fact exist." Fascinating, isn't it? So that was put there for a very specific reason. It's letting us know that the soul is a thing in the One Piece world, and I guess it can travel since it leaves a body and it weighs 21 grams. So I guess this means that, if this theory is true, we're just having fun for the sake of the video. We're going to act like it is. Nothing confirmed yet, of course. But that would mean that Rox is somehow able to manipulate his soul and put it into Blackbeard somehow. So how can he do that? Well, I'm sure there's like a devil fruit maybe that could do it. Maybe like the awakened version of Brook's devil fruit can do something like that. Maybe, but considering that Brook had the fruit over 50 years ago, there's no way that Rox had it. Because, the flashback that we're in right now is around that time. So if Rox had the devil fruit, it just wouldn't make sense. Because Brook had it. So we can cross that off the list. Let me also cross off the list that we don't know what Rox's devil fruit is at all. I mean, it's very possible he didn't even have a devil fruit at all. Kind of like, Roger, or at least how Roger's implied to be. But as we also talked about in multiple other videos, he might have had the Yami Yami no Mi, the Darkness Logia that Blackbeard currently has, and maybe he was able to use the Darkness Logia in some way to manipulate his soul and then put it into Blackbeard. Now, I just wanted to, put that out there. It's a possibility, but I don't think that's necessarily what happened because of another thing that Vegapunk said back in Egghead. So after Android Kuma came back and, punched the crap out of Saturn, he embraced Bonnie. And Vegapunk was talking about how he turned Kuma into a bomb. And that technically he should be in a vegetative state right now without the ability to act of his own free will or even carry out orders. So there's no reason that he should have sprung into motion, and no logical scientific basis for his arrival at this island where Bonnie is. So is it true then? It is not the physical strength of the Buccaneers that make them remarkable. For at one point in time, they, and then an ellipses, and then we never hear about anything about this stuff again. So yeah, as we know, Kuma comes from the Buccaneer race. They're kind of like, I don't know, somewhere between a human and a giant or something. And they always skip leg day. That's essentially what the Buccaneers are. They were also extremely persecuted by the world government. And there's only 1 or 2 left that we know of at this point. And I say 2 because we definitely know that Kuma is a Buccaneer and he's technically still alive. But first, let's talk about the sponsor of this video, Polybuzz, where you can create a unique character chatbot by yourself and talk with others. It has over 40 million downloads worldwide and over 20 million characters in the app. But not just anime characters, they have OC and I guess real people.
Hey bro, mom and dad are gonna be out for the weekend. They gave me money to order something, so what do you want to eat?
How about I eat you?
Oh, that's gross. You're so weird sometimes. Just pick something normal to eat, like pizza or burgers.
But considering my demo, you guys are probably more interested in anime characters, so they got tons of those, like Tatsumaki.
Hey, who do you think you are? How can someone like you be an A-class hero?
Or you can just straight up talk to Nami from One Piece if you'd like. And
let's go find Dr. Vegapunk's treasures.
Let's go find a place to be alone.
Not so fast. We have to find Vegapunk's secret vault first.
And you can download it right now by checking the link in the description. And make sure you use code ZONE77, and that will allow you to unlock all of the amazing premium features of Polybuzz. Thanks, guys. I've also speculated about how Blackbeard might be a Buccaneer as well, because, you know, he kind of resembles Kuma. And Kuma's dad, you know, who's also a Buccaneer. So if Blackbeard is a Buccaneer, then I guess that means that Rox was a Buccaneer as well. And if he was a Buccaneer, then I guess that means it goes into what Vegapunk was talking about here. Something that made them remarkable back in the day, it wasn't their strength, although they are pretty strong, way stronger than a normal human. It's just that for one point in time, and we don't know. But it very likely has something to do with the soul because, you know, that's what all this is pointing to. How did the android Kuma save Bonnie when technically he should have no personality or memories of himself left? Well, it's very possible because Kuma is a Buccaneer that he imprinted his soul into his android body somehow. It's just some kind of inherent ability that the Buccaneers have. They can move that 21-gram supernatural conscious entity into other things. People or inanimate objects as well. And I guess this is what Rox did, in theory. As he was dying or something like that, he passed on his soul to Blackbeard. And I guess this had to be at God Valley because it's implied that Rox was killed at God Valley. And God Valley happened, what, like 40 years ago, 38, 39, 40 years ago, something like that. And that's how old Blackbeard is, along with Shanks. And we know that Shanks was found at God Valley, so it's very possible that Blackbeard was there as well. You know, he came with the Rox pirates, maybe he was on the ship or something. And then as Rox was dying, at the hands of Garp and Roger, and possibly even Garling as well, he did some last-minute Buccaneer magic and then passed his soul onto Blackbeard. And I say Garling as well because, you know, why does Blackbeard hate Shanks so much? I mean, yeah, it makes sense because Blackbeard is a D and Shanks is a celestial dragon and they are eternally at odds. But I don't think it's that simple. Maybe it's because Garling killed Rox. And then, you know, when Rox takes over Blackbeard's body, he remembers. Maybe that's also why he went after Ace, because, you know, Roger was there as well. Roger probably had something to do with Rox's downfall, and he was like, hey, I'm going to take care of your son, Roger. I'm going to have him executed. But anyway, now that we're at the point of where Rox has put his soul into Blackbeard, I guess it means that they trade consciousness. Because, you know, going back to that flashback when we saw Blackbeard, you know, just despising Shanks the first second that he saw him, Buggy was talking to Shanks in that sequence, and he said, yeah, I heard this guy never sleeps. You know, paraphrasing, he also called him a monster or something like that. But we also speculated about why Blackbeard never sleeps. And maybe it's because they take turns being conscious. You know, Blackbeard goes to sleep, Rox takes over, and vice versa. Also, if we go back to Jaya, when Blackbeard is first introduced into the series and meets Luffy, when Luffy is like walking away from the encounter and he's talking to the rest of the Straw Hats about him, he says, it's not him, it's they. And that's been a big topic of speculation for over 20 years now. It's like, what is he talking about? Well, it could be this. He knew that Blackbeard was comprised of multiple souls. Even going further to the Marineford War when Marco was telling everybody that Blackbeard had a weird body, and that's what allowed him to have 2 devil fruits. I don't know if he was talking about him being a Buccaneer or him having 2 souls or something. But now that we're at the point of him having 2 devil fruits, I guess this is why. It's because he has two souls. Blackbeard's soul is containing the Yami Yami no Mi, and Rox's soul might be containing the Gura Gura no Mi. Or, you know, vice versa or whatever, but I guess that's why he's able to have two. I mean, it could be the Yami Yami no Mi as well, but, you know, we're just talking about the double soul theory here, too. And then also, you know, we talked about the teeth. Sometimes Teach's teeth are different. Sometimes he has more than others. I don't know if it's a little mistake by Odo or if he's doing it intentionally. He's probably just doing it intentionally. But now that we got all that stuff out of the way, let's just talk about his symbol, the three skulls, which is on his ship, the Saber of Zebek. Why is there three? I mean, we speculated, oh, there's like two other souls within Blackbeard or two other personalities or something, but we have Rox established here. So if there is three, then who the heck is the third one? Or is there a third one, or is it just three skulls because it looks cool? I don't know. He also has like three tassels on his beard, three pistols. There's an important three factor to Blackbeard. So maybe there's more to what's going on here. Maybe Davy Jones is involved in some way. Maybe Davy Jones took over Rox's soul and then it just kept going. I don't know. That's a little too wild. We don't know anything about Davy Jones yet, but let me know in the comments, guys, what you think is going on here. Do you think this Rox soul theory is plausible? Let me know. And then what do you make of the three skulls thing? What's going on with the three stuff? How does Blackbeard have two devil fruits? Let me know. And if you liked the video, please give it a like and please subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.